Boom! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, it doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5-6. I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want to stop it. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, outside, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, open up some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs, making profits. I jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. light up, watching them gain their profits. While I'm still in my same making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq. Used to run from the ATF and the cop. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? And make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? And make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? And make profits. That TTG money gang. And making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, you, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. It's another rally day in the markets, another new 52-week high as we continue this bull market rally as you have institutional money continues to chase this market higher. We came into the year 2023 extremely bearishly positioned, okay? It was one of the most bearish positionings we've ever seen in the hedge fund community. Literally, there have been trillions of dollars sitting on the sidelines, sitting in money market funds, sitting in treasuries, or all these other different areas, but not in the stock market because so many professionals were anticipating a recession this year. So many people were anticipating a big stock market crash. I mean, listen, including myself, I thought we were going to have a recession here. You asked me, go back to November, December of last year, I would have told you I think that we're going to have a recession this year. I still have some cash that's on the sidelines. I got a lot of money into the markets last year in around the 360s and 380s on the SPY. Now the SPY is sitting up at 454 as we continue this bull market rally. But I didn't get all of my money in down there that I wanted to get into the markets. I'm really happy that I got the money in that I did when the markets were crashing there in the middle of the year last year. But now things have changed and inflation's continuing to come down. And the Fed looks like they got one more rate hike, maybe a second rate hike after that. But it looks like the markets are now getting ready for the Fed to stop raising rates. The economy held up. GDP still good. Labor markets as strong as you could have possibly ever imagined at 3.6% unemployment. And the odds, the probabilities, when you break down the math, when you break down probability of recession has come down. There's no denying that. I don't think that the probability of it is zero. You're probably getting close to zero probability for this year, maybe not necessarily for next year, but the probability of recession is certainly coming down. I am shocked to see the markets where we are at 454. I am not the person that was saying, hey, yeah, the market's going to rip face off this year. I did not think that. If you guys have been following my live streams for a while, I told you I thought that we were going to get a deeper pullback this year and I was going to be able to get that last chunk of money into the overall markets. But yet here we are. The markets are pushing to the upside and there's so many people that did not participate in this market rally. And it's horrible. It's terrible. It pains my heart to see so many retail investors on the sidelines now being faced with this question of, well, what do I do now? Do I buy in now when the market's at 454 and we're a stone throw away really from all-time high? We're 26 points away from an all-time high on the SPY. Are you kidding me? But yet here we are. And this is why it is so important. Moments like this make me realize why it is so important that people need to be educated. They need to really understand how to be able to participate in the markets, not try picking the bottom, okay? Because even though you're right or you're wrong on whatever direction you think the markets are going to move, understanding the way the market dynamics work, understanding, especially when it comes to a long-term portfolio mindset. I can't tell you how many people that I know that bombed out of their positions in September and October. That was the low. There's so many retail investors that bombed out of their positions right here because they thought the world was ending. They thought there was going to be a depression, never mind a recession. And yet now look at where the markets are. And these people don't know what to do now. They don't know. Maybe there's a lot of people that are on this live stream that bombed out of their positions here. That's when you should have been buying. I mean, this is when we were buying into your trading group. But again, full disclosure, I still have a piece of cash on the sideline that I did not get in. My buy points were here and here. This is where I invested money into the markets last year. I had one more piece of money that was going to come into the markets here. We just never quite got down to that. That was going to be the final target for me where I was going to get the last chunk of my money in, and I didn't get it in. I didn't get that spot. So nonetheless, though, now markets are ripping to the upside. And this is why you really have to understand, how to take advantage of this market environment, because it is the greatest market environment that I've ever seen. And what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about on this live stream, we're going to talk about maybe what should you do now if you are one of those people that missed this rally. What should you do now? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to buy NVIDIA at 480. You're supposed to buy Microsoft at an all-time high. What are you supposed to do? We're going to talk about that. I'm also going to open things up for a blanket Q&A. We'll talk about Tesla and Netflix earnings tomorrow, but also a surprise. Carvana is coming out with earnings tomorrow. That is not supposed to be the case. Carvana was not set to report earnings tomorrow, but after the close today, it was announced from the company that they're going to move their earnings forward, and they're announcing earnings tomorrow morning. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Right now, the stock certainly is acting like it's a bad thing. The stock got punished after hours. I'll tell you exactly what I think right here on this live stream. So welcome, folks. My name is Michael Edward Parnati. I go by Michael Edward. I've been trading and investing for over 17 years. I began my career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City, my very first job right out of college. And then 2008 happened. That was the Great Recession and the stock market crash, but it was also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, now I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, and along with 10 professional trading mods and a 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world reach their goals. We actually have members in 115 different countries here at True Trading Group. Now, for those of you that don't know, we are the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock markets tools. We do live workshops, provide individual mentorship for stocks, options, crypto, and futures. And we do it for all styles of trading. We do it for day trading, for swing trading, and we also do it for long-term investing. Okay, something I just touched upon here earlier on in this live stream, right? Some things that no matter what you're looking for, no matter what type of trader or investor that you are, something for everybody here in TTG. But you see, we take the university level of professional education that I received working at the fund. When I was working at that fund, they didn't let me touch $1 of their money until I first went through a 3-month training program where professionals at the firm taught me the right way to trade. That's how I learned. I didn't have to go through YouTube videos and Reddit pages and sit in Discord chats and go through Twitter feeds in order to try to figure out how to trade the markets efficiently and effectively. I was taught by professionals. I'm very lucky and fortunate that was the case. But we basically have taken that curriculum and we've simplified it, we've expanded upon it, and that is the professional education that you guys have access to as a member of True Trading Group. We take that, we combine it with today's top financial tools that some of the top traders in the markets use. It gives them more information, it helps them make better decisions, and increases their chances of success. So if they're using them, so should you. But why do so many people not use these tools? It's because they're expensive. They'd cost you around $5,000 or $6,000 a year if you were to go and purchase them on your own. It's a lot of money. I know it is. That's why we have spent years as a company building relationships with those companies so we can put their tools and products on our platform at no additional cost to you. Saves you around $5,000 a year and gives you access to some of the top trading tools that are available. You also get access to all of our members, the most helpful, educated, and supportive community of traders you're ever going to find. And of course, the real-time trade alerts from the mods and myself that have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate as a group on all of our executions of around 80% now going on the last 3 years. So if you guys are ready to learn trading profit for real, you've come to the right place. 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live right here with myself and other TTG Pro Trading mods, as well as some special guests. Drop golden nuggets and give you free lessons and education that can help you guys become better traders. All right. So if you have not done so already, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams. We're dropping golden nuggets on a regular basis, guys, and giving you guys trade ideas, telling you our positions, what we think is going to be taking place in the markets. We're not just Monday morning quarterbacks. I don't come on and just tell you, hey, this is what happened in the markets today. I tell you about what I think is going to happen tomorrow, what I think is going to happen next week. And listen, I'm going to be wrong sometimes. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, I got 100% win rate, because I don't. I'm going to be wrong sometimes, but I'm right a hell of a lot more than I'm wrong. All right. And we're going to share with you guys all that information, all that education, all that experience, all those trade ideas and analysis to help you guys become better traders and make the right decisions, become better investors, and just be able to make money in the markets. That's why you're all here, right? We're all here so we can make money in the markets and either, supplement our income. Some people looking to replace their income altogether. And is it possible to replace your income? Absolutely it is. Can you become a full-time trader? Absolutely you can. But it's not going to happen overnight. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. All right. This isn't a game. This is real life. This is your money. This is your life. I'm not going to tell you that, oh yeah, join True Trading Group, you'll become a millionaire within 30 days. You'll tell your boss to go screw within, 2 weeks. And it's going to be the greatest thing since, you're going to be able to make $1,000 every 10 minutes. It's going to be the greatest thing you've ever done in your entire life. It could be the greatest thing you've ever done in your entire life. It's the greatest thing that many members in True Trading Group have ever done in their entire lives. Maybe members of TTG, sound off, give me an AO. If joining TTG was one of the best things that you guys have ever done, comment in chat if we've been having a positive impact on your lives, because that's what it's all about. When I talk to members of True Trading Group and I talk to people that are even viewers of our live streams, and I ask people all the time, like, hey, what is it? What is it about the stock market? Why are you here? Why are you on the live stream? Why are you trying to learn about the markets in the first place? And the comments that I get, the responses that I get from people, it's not, oh, because I want to buy a Rolex, or I want to buy a Lamborghini. I want to fly on a private jet. That's not the reasons that I get from people when I ask them. Sure. Do we all want those things? They all sound great. Sure. Of course. I'm a watch aficionado. You're never going to hear me complain about anybody wanting to buy a nice high-end watch. I love them. I collect them. I'm a huge watch guy. I'm totally obsessed with watches, but that's not the point. Okay. The point is that understanding this stuff is all about true success. True success in the sense when people ask, how can you define when all is said and done and your life is coming to an end and you're sitting there in the last moments and taking your last breaths, what determines whether or not you've had a successful life? Is it if you have 2 commas in your bank account at that moment? Is that what determines if you were successful or not? Is it if you have someone at your bedside during your last moments, or if you're alone? Is that what it is? Did they maybe name a street after you in the town that you grew up in? Was that success? What is it? Did you travel the world and see 100 different countries? Is that success? When people ask me this question about like what defines success, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think real success is in the simplest of terms. And success to me, to look back and say, I was successful in the time that I spent on this earth. And one of the ways that for me that I will gauge success is, did my children have a better life than I did? Did my children have more opportunities than I did? Did my children have an easier road than I did? If I can sit there and I can say that, then I can take my final breath knowing that I lived a successful life. And when that moment comes, I will be able to look back and I will be able to say without any shred of a doubt that I lived a successful life. You want to know how I know that? I'm 38 years old. I don't even have a child yet. But you want to know how I know that I'm going to be able to say that I have lived a successful life? Because I have learned how to make money in the stock market. I have learned the proper way to invest. I have learned the proper way how to trade actively for income, but also how to invest to build wealth. I know what I am doing. I know that through the stock market, using the stock market as a tool, I know that I'm going to be able to leave my children with a better life than I lived. I know that for a fact. The stock market's the greatest equalizer. It's the greatest wealth building opportunity that you'll ever experience in your entire life. Stock market doesn't care where you came from, doesn't care what your political affiliation is, doesn't care what your religion is, doesn't care about your gender, doesn't care about anything at all, doesn't care about your religion. Stock market doesn't care about any of it. And that's the beauty of it. That every single person, regardless of where you came from, regardless of how much money you have to start with, you all have the exact same opportunity to buy the exact same stocks that the best hedge fund managers in the entire world own. You can buy the exact same stocks that Warren Buffett owns. Now, obviously, you can't buy the same amount as Warren Buffett, but you certainly could have the exact same investments if you really wanted to. But it's a matter of when do you take advantage of those investments? And that brings me to the discussion that I kind of wanted to start things off with so many people panicked and sold, never mind didn't invest back in 2022 when the markets were crashing. People sold. It's one thing entirely to just not have invested at all and just missed the move. It's something entirely different to have panicked, sold your positions, lost money, and then look now and start doing the math in your head like, oh my God, if I never sold, if I never bailed out of Tesla, if I never sold Nvidia, if I never sold Alphabet, if I never sold Meta, if I never sold Apple and Microsoft and Amazon, if I never sold Boeing and Nike and Starbucks and Home Depot, if I never sold these stocks, how much money would I have? How much money would your kids have if you never sold those stocks? That's the stuff that I think about. That's the positive impact that understanding this stuff can have on your life. That is what will help you be able to look back at the end of your time and say, I lived a successful life. It's making those type of decisions. Making a decision, that being that wrong on a decision, panicking and selling in your long-term portfolio, bailing out, dropping your 401k, liquidating your IRAs at that moment, that mistake will cost you a decade. It's going to cost you a decade. That's the difference. You investing at that moment versus you selling at that moment. That's the difference between your kid going to the college that they want to go to, your daughter having the wedding that she wanted to always have, being able to go on that special family vacation that you've always wanted to take your kids on. That's the difference. Maybe being able to help your kid with a down payment on their first home because they don't have the money for it because they have $300,000 in student loans. So they don't have the money for the down payment, but you can step in and you can help them. These are the type of decisions that can have that impact on your life. That's why I say all the time that understanding this stuff, even from just a broader market view, can help you build a better, more financially secure life. I'm not even talking about trading for income, because when you're a day trader or you're a swing trader, that is very, very different from an investor. Now, you should be both. I am both. I'm an investor, but I'm also a trader. But I trade to generate income. I trade to generate income to live my life. But I invest to build wealth so I can live my life later and my kids could live a better life. But you can't do any of those things if you don't know what you are doing. That's why the stock market is the greatest wealth building opportunity that you will ever come across in your entire life. There are very brief moments of market decline. When you look at the grand scheme of things, there's very brief moments. The market goes up and up and up, and then it crashes for like a year and a half. And then it stabilizes, and then it goes up and up and up and up, and then it crashes again for a year or 2 years, and then it stabilizes, and then it goes up and up and up and up. And that cycle repeats itself since 1900 all the way to 2023. That cycle has repeated itself and will continue to repeat itself. Stock market's not going to go to zero, regardless of what all the doomsdayers tell you online. And those doomsdayers, I feel, need to take some responsibility that, oh, the world is ending. Oh, never mind recession, Great Depression, sell everything. They are the reason, by spreading complete garbage nonsense, by not giving any real actionable information or education whatsoever, but just trying to get clicks, just trying to get views. And they know if I scare the crap out of people, I'll get the most views possible, because nobody wants to be scared. Everybody clicks on the scariest headline possible. You see a headline that says stock market to drop at least 50% in the next 60 days. You're going to click that because you're like, wait, what? What's going to happen? And that is what causes people to make the wrong decisions. Every single time throughout the rest of your life, if you just had the wherewithal and the level head to say, the stock market's down this year, I should put some money in. But no, that's not what happens. People say, oh, the stock market's down. Oh, something bad is about to happen. Let me tell you something, folks. If you don't do this for a living and you don't follow the markets on a daily basis, by the time you find out the stock market's crashing, it's already crashed. you're already more than halfway through it. Because the way that stock market crashes work is the best professionals sell first, the rest of the professionals sell second, retail sells last. And you want to know how stock market crashes end? The best of the professionals buy first, the rest of the professionals buy second, and retail buys last. And that's exactly where a lot of people that are maybe even on this live stream, that's exactly where a lot of people that are on this live maybe even feel. Where we panicked and sold in September and October, and now here we are at 454, considering just putting all that money back into the markets after you've just gone from 350 to 450. The SPY has gone up 100 points from low to where it is now. 100 points on the SPY. 100. 350 was the low. We're at 450. And it took a 100-point move to the upside for the same people that sold last year to say, maybe I should invest in the markets again. That's why retail investors continuously underperform the market, because they do the exact opposite of what they're supposed to do. In order to make money in the markets, you got to buy low and sell high. Not the opposite, but retail investors typically wait for the markets to crash. Then all the scary headlines start to come across. They go, oh man, the market's down 25%. It's going to go down 50 or 60. I better sell now. I don't want to lose everything. And they panic and they sell. And then a year later, the market's back up 20%. In this case, the Nasdaq up 40%. You realize that this is actually the best start to a year in the last 20 years. Let me say that again, because this actually shocked the crap out of me. And again, I'm not trying to pretend like I'm some Mr. Know-it-all. If you asked me 6-8 months ago, Mike, do you think the SPY is going to be at 454 in July? I would have said no way. But yet here we are. And you can't afford to make those kind of mistakes. And whether or not, and people ask me all the time, last year when the market's crashing, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm adding in my long-term portfolio. I'm buying all these stocks. I gave members of True Trading Group, this is the list of all the stocks that I'm buying, right? I'm buying NVIDIA, I'm buying AMD, I'm buying Meta, Alphabet, Microsoft, Snowflake, right? Salesforce, Splunk, Palo Alto, Fortinet, FTNT. These are all the stocks that I'm buying, right? I gave the list to everybody. And people say, well, Mike, but if you think the market's still going to go down more, why don't you just wait until it goes down more? And because what if I'm wrong? I don't know what price the market's going to stop at. I don't know what day is going to be the bottom. Nobody knows what day the bottom's going to be. Nobody knows what price the bottom's going to be. But if you just wait to try to pick the bottom, you're never going to get the bottom, and you're going to find yourself in the exact situation you find yourself in right now today, which is, what do I do now? Now the stock market's rallied like crazy. What do I do now? You should be kicking back and being like, holy crap, I'm up 200% on NVIDIA. What? That's what you should be doing. But instead, it's, damn, what do I do now? Let me tell you something, guys. I have changed my game plan entirely. To try to sit here and now say that I think the SPY, my final target, I invested in 2 areas last year, right? I invested in 2 areas last year. And again, I showed them to you. That's where I put a little bit of money to work. And this is where I put a lot of money to work. Okay, here and here. So this is when I started investing last year. The most amount of my money, and actually the day that the most amount of money actually came into the markets, according to all of my executions, was June 17th. June 17th is right there. That day right there is when the biggest amount of money went into the market for me. Now, it wasn't 100% of my money. I still had 20%, no, more than that. I don't know exactly what the percentage is. I'd have to go back and actually look what my cash balance was at that time versus what is there now. And basically what I've done with the rest of that cash has been being rolled through with like treasuries, like 3-month treasury bills. You can get yourself like 5% interest, 0 risk. So this way, at least you're earning some interest and you're realizing some gain. You're making some money on that cash, and it becomes liquid every 3 months on the 3-month treasury. Or if you do a 6-month, then on the 6-month T-bill, it'll become liquid every 6 months. But you can earn, annually an annualized return of 5.5% on those T-bills. So that's what that other cash has been doing. But I was planning on getting that cash in around here. This was going to be the last part, the last moment that money was going to find a home. And it didn't. But the amount of money that I'm up from those ads from last year to where the markets is now is actually absolutely freaking insane. So that game plan changes. This is no longer my target for where the rest of that money is going to find a home. Okay. That's not my target now where the rest of that cash is going to go. What I think is taking place in the markets right now is this is a little bit of FOMO, the markets, institutional money that's been on the sideline, and retail money. You have retail money and institutional money that I think is chasing this market higher. A lot of people have FOMO. There's a bit of a nostalgia type of feeling in the markets right now. We've had one ridiculous rally over the last month and a half. And, I still do believe the economy is going to slow going into the end of the year. And I do think you're going to get a pullback towards the end of this year, but it's certainly not going to be down to here. It's certainly not going to be down to there. Something so catastrophic would have to happen for us to get back to this level within this year. It's just not going to happen. So now the plan that I have going forward is I start to identify some really good zones of structure on pullbacks in the SPY where the money that I have left starts finding homes, and it's going to find homes. I'll tell you right now, it's going to mean all tech stocks. It's going to mean all tech. Okay. I'm going to just buy more of the tech stocks that I bought last year. I'm just going to add to all of them. Those are the stocks I want to own for the next 10, 20 years. So that's where those stocks are going to go. But I'm targeting now, like if you look back, like this previous resistance level, I'm going to go to a weekly chart to make this more easy for people. Because when you go to a weekly chart, it really, like the levels really become more clear. And see this level here? This level is really where I'm going to start probably looking to deploy some capital in some particular names. And we can drop ourselves down. It's like 400 to like 420, like in that range, back down in that area. I'll put some money to work. And then 380 would be like a meaningful pullback and a meaningful decline where I'd probably look to start getting the rest of that cash balance in. But then I just go back to my regularly scheduled programming, which is continuing to set cash aside during market declines in case we have a recession next year, because you still have issues next year. I'm not saying the coast is clear. You still have commercial real estate, which is going to be a problem next year. You could have, hey, the recession just gets pushed off till next year because the consumer held up because they had COVID savings. All those things still could happen next year. But I just start setting money aside and I'll put that money to work then next year and I'll let the market decline next year. If the recession shows up next year, then fantastic. Then I'll just start buying more stuff next year as I set cash aside every single month to go into the long-term portfolio. And that's really what I plan on doing. And that's really going to be my whole plan going forward from here on out. So I wanted to kind of, give you guys that quick little update because it's like I get a lot of questions from people. I get a lot of messages on social media. You guys want to follow me on Twitter? You certainly can. My Twitter handle is @MikeEdward_TTG. Again, it's @MikeEdward_TTG. You guys can follow me on Twitter. I'm always posting trade ideas, market commentary. You can ask me questions, whatever it is. But that's kind of my game plan here. I'm extremely happy with the stuff that I bought last year. Of course, I wish I bought more, but I can't really complain. I didn't think I was going to be up as much as I am on some of these positions. Like I take a look at Meta, right? Like what? I mean, look at what Meta has done. I didn't think Meta was going to go back to 312 this fast. I thought Meta would go back to the 300s, but I thought it would take like 3 years for Meta to get back to 300. It did it in less. What? Are you kidding me? It's back to 312. NVIDIA, I was buying NVIDIA when this thing was down around like 160. It's a 473. What? I thought it was going to take 5 years, 3 to 5 years for NVIDIA to get to $500. It's almost there. We're basically at 480, right? Like I never could have thought that in Microsoft, what? I bought Microsoft, I think at like, I don't know, 250 maybe. We're at 360. AMD down around like, what? I mean, these stocks are up so much. Palo Alto, are you serious? Palo Alto back around 150. It's at 248. Fortinet around 50. It's at 80. Like, I thought it was going to take these stocks a lot longer to get to where they are. So really can't complain, right? So I hope that helps kind of put things into perspective for the people that have been asking me, hey, what do I do now? I sold last year. I missed this entire move. What do I do? I hope that helps. What I want to do right now, guys, I want to actually open the floor and do like a blanket Q&A session just for a couple of minutes. There's a lot of things I want to talk about today. I want to go over with you guys. Obviously, we have the game plan for tomorrow. Carvana, Tesla, Netflix. Huge earnings coming out tomorrow. I 100% anticipate myself trading Carvana tomorrow, depending on what the earnings are. So we're going to go over the game plans for those three stocks: Carvana, Tesla, Netflix. Netflix had a ridiculous day today. Stock is up $30. $30. Stock's up 7% today. Tesla had a big move today too as well. So we got to talk about those stocks, what the game plan is. But I want to allow you guys to ask me some questions because I feel like we're at a point right now in time where maybe some people have a lot of questions. So let's do this. Let's go ahead. Yes, Sassy and Datadog. How could I forget about Datadog? Datadog. Yes, Datadog, right? The Datadog was another one that we bought in the long-term portfolio. This thing's up at $114. Like, oh my goodness. So crazy. So crazy. I don't think my price on Datadog though was that crazy. I think I bought Datadog. I don't remember where I bought Datadog, but I didn't get it down here. I didn't get it in like the 60s. I wish I did, but I didn't buy Datadog down here in the 60s. I don't think so. I think I bought it like more like in the 70s or 80s. But nonetheless, that stock's at 114 now. I like Datadog for the long term. I also really like Snowflake for the long term. There's just some of the stocks that I own. Snowflake at 188. I own Snowflake from like 116, 117. It's wild. It's wild. But guys, go ahead. Ask me some questions. Okay. Ask me some questions. Go ahead. Type your questions in chat right now. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Remember, asking questions, guys. Asking questions is how you learn. Okay? Asking questions is how you learn. Okay, first question by Azaya. And I'll talk about this a little bit later on this live stream. It says, Carvana must have good earnings if they want to report them early. Could get crazy. It's actually the exact opposite. Typically, not all the time, but typically when companies bring their earnings report forward, sometimes it's not a good thing. And that's why actually Carvana is trading to the downside. All right. So after hours, when Carvana announced that news, you see the stock really sold off. The stock was at $40 when we closed. It's now at 35. All right. So the stock actually went down. Now, I am not saying the earnings are going to be bad. I have no idea. Okay. I have seen before situations where companies announce early and they're good. I have seen it before. As a matter of fact, my biggest losing trade in the history of my trading career occurred when I was short a stock. They weren't due to report earnings for like a week. They halted the stock and there was like a leak on their earnings. So they reported their earnings early and the stock just gapped up like $90 a share. And I was like, that's the most effed up thing that I've ever seen happen to me before. Like, I was like, that is so effed up that they did that. I couldn't even trade out of it. The stock, they halted the stock, then released the earning. I'm pretty sure it was Baidu, and released the earnings and just got this massive gap up. And I was like, this is many, many, many years ago, but it still to date is my biggest P&L loss. There was nothing I could do about it. Stock halted, right? So I have seen situations where that has happened, where they report early and they're really good and the stock moves higher. But it's weird that they're pulling their earnings forward by this far. And that just made investors nervous. And that's why the stock sold off. We'll see what happens tomorrow when they report earnings. I don't know what the earnings are going to be. They could be really good. They could be really bad. I don't know why they would pull the earnings forward like that. Maybe we'll get an explanation from the CEO or CFO tomorrow when they do announce the earnings. Maybe we'll get an explanation on why they did this. We'll have to wait and see. So guys, go ahead and type your questions in chat. Are you planning to take any profit on any of the long-term portfolio stocks? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not at all, actually. But it depends on your time horizon, right? Like I'm 38 years old. I'm going to be invested for the next 20 years, right? So 30 years, I'm very comfortable with the stocks that I own. Some of the stocks I own, I wish I owned more. So I'm really not looking to take profits. I did my selling in 2021, right? In 2021, if you guys have been following this YouTube channel for a while, I very publicly, I came out. It was we did a big announcement like on the live stream in September of 2021. And what I announced to everybody it was the last week of September or first week of October of 2021. It was right here. We announced on this live stream that over the next month, I'm going to be selling in my long-term portfolio. Now, that was a very big deal when I did that because it's the first time that I've really ever sold in my long-term portfolio. For the last, God, however long, I've just been like adding to my long-term portfolio over time. I've never really like sold. So that was a huge move for me to sell. And basically by the end of October, I was flat. Not flat. I was flat. The positions I didn't liquidate 100% of my portfolio. I would never do that. But I sold out a huge chunk of my portfolio. I liquidated the portion that I wanted to sell so I can raise a bunch of cash because I really thought the markets were going to crash in 2022. I turned out to be right. And that's when I took that cash and some of it went into the markets here. And then a much bigger piece of it went into the markets there. And again, like I told you, I was saving a piece to get in here. We just never got down to there. But the cash that I raised here when I sold out, I put back into the markets at those points. That was the selling for me. I'm done selling. I'm done selling. I'm not looking to sell in my long-term portfolio. I'm looking to add to it now. I'm in buy mode, not sell mode. Not saying I'm buying. I always have to give the full explanation because I realize some people come into the live stream at different points. I'm not saying I'm in buy mode right now. I'm not adding anything in my long-term portfolio right now, but I'm looking for pullbacks in the market where I can get more money into the market rather than look to be selling stuff. Next question. Go ahead, guys. Just go ahead. Keep typing your questions in chat. At what point do we scratch the idea the market will ever go back to normal? The market is, listen, volatility is crazy right now, but you have AI, but you guys have to realize something. Like, there's always something in the market. There's always something the markets care about. Like right now, all the markets care about is AI, 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 AI. You go back a few months ago, all the market cared about was the banking system. Was deposits, regional banks, right? That's all the market cared about a couple months ago. Before that, it was inflation. Now people don't really necessarily care that much about inflation anymore. Before that, it was Russia, Ukraine. Now the markets could care less about what's happening in Russia, Ukraine. It's not a catalyst at all. Then you go back to 2021. 2021 was all just stimulus. Then you go back to, 2020, it was COVID. All the market cared about was new cases, new variants, vaccine approval. That's all the market cared about in 2020. Then you go back to 2019, and it was the Federal Reserve easing up. It would try to raise rates. It brought it back, and then the markets rallied, and it was like this big growth period. 2018, all the market cared about was China trade war, U.S.-China trade war. It's all the market cared about in 2018. It's always something, right? There's always a reason why the markets are going to go down. There's always a reason why they're going to go up. So this is unlike anything that I've ever seen, what the market's doing right now. And what I mean by that is every single thing that I have ever learned, everything I've ever experienced in my 18 years of doing this is that when these things happen, stocks do not go up. And that is an inverted yield curve, an aggressive rate hike cycle from the Fed, and an oil price shock. Those three things in history, if you go back to literally 1900, all the way through to 2023, and you count the times that those three things happened within the same calendar year, every single time, every time in history, not like 9 out of 10 times, not 80% of the time, 100% of the time, a recession followed. All three of those things happened last year. Inverted yield curve, oil spiked to $120 a barrel, and you got the fastest rate hike cycle in history. Never mind just a rate hike cycle. You got the fastest rate hike cycle in history and one of the deepest yield curve inversions that we've ever seen. The market's not supposed to move higher when those things happen. It's just not. Unemployment's not supposed to stay at 3.6. GDP is not supposed to be at 2 when those things happen. But you've also never had, going back to 1900, you've also never had a situation where the global economy was turned off. Trillions of dollars around the world were injected into the economy. People were cashed up with all this pent-up demand waiting to be unleashed into the world. And when that happened, the economy got turned back on, and all those trillions and trillions of dollars are now being spent and is what is driving this economy and why the consumer is still so strong and the labor market still so tight. It's not supposed to be that way. People like to say, oh, but this time it's different. This time it's different. A lot of people like to say those things. Every time in history, when the markets are crashing or when something's happening, every time people say, oh, this time it's different. Usually that's just wishful thinking, right? Usually it's wishful thinking, you know? But this time you actually could say it is different. It truly is different. Never has this happened before, ever in history. So truly it's a first experience for a lot of people. You know, right now the markets, all they care about is AI. You know? And AI is something that, it's not a bubble. AI is here to stay. Like AI moving this market to the upside it's not something that's just going to dissipate. It's going to be a bubble. It's going to pop. You know, this is something that I think is going to be a real game changer. You actually had the CEO of Alphabet said yesterday that, I'm sorry, not Alphabet. It was Microsoft. The CEO of Microsoft, literally at an event, it was today, not yesterday. It was today when they announced the pricing for their Copilot, the AI, powered, chat version, and their Microsoft Office 365, like that whole new suite of products that's powered by AI, their Copilot product. They announced that the analysts were expecting it to be anywhere from $8 to $10 a month. It's $30 a month. Do the math on how many hundreds of millions of users pay subscriptions to Microsoft for all those suite of products. Do the math. Even if just some of them, $30 a month. That's why Microsoft stock went crazy today, went to new all-time highs. But he actually said he expects AI to add $10 trillion to the global GDP. $10 trillion. That's such a large amount of money that you really can't comprehend. So AI is here to stay. It's not coming. It's here now. And, I've been working on Adam, and to be honest with you guys, and this is for members of True Trading. If you're not a member, this doesn't really apply to you, but members, I'm actually working on Adam to do an AI bootcamp. And if you guys knew that or not, I've been pushing him today because I think it would be so beneficial to members. Adam, the things this guy can do with AI blows my freaking mind. And, for those who don't know, Adam's my business partner and co-founder of True Trading Group. He's the business mind behind TTG. I'm the face and the trader that you guys see on these live streams. But Adam's the guy responsible for running the business and building out the platform and the technology and everything that members are able to use on a daily basis. And his knowledge of AI is extremely impressive. So I'm trying to get him to do a boot camp for members to teach members how to use AI, but in all aspects of your life, like how to use AI in your personal life, how to use AI in your professional life to help you in your profession, make you a better employee, how to help you if you run your own business, how can you implement AI into your business? How is True Trading Group implementing AI? How you can implement AI to better your business, to become more efficient, to grow, to market, to bring in more sales, to cut costs? How can you use AI as a business owner? And also how to use AI when it comes to your trading. A lot of people, everyone knows about AI, but nobody knows about AI, if that makes sense. Everybody knows AI is cool, but nobody really knows how to use it. So I'm trying to get Adam to do a boot camp like that for members. I think it's crazy beneficial. Adam's been up since 4 a.m., guys, working on insane updates for the TD platform, the app, the chat room, the website, and everything. So he cut out. He's not even on the live stream right now. He's home. He's getting caught up on some sleep. He was up at 4 a.m. this morning working on the new updates within the platform for True Trading Group. But when he watches this, I actually want to see something. Guys, do me a favor. Members of True Trading Group, if you want Adam to do this boot camp, do me a favor and type the number 1. If you want Adam to do a boot camp on how to use AI, go ahead and type the number 1 in chat, please. Because when Adam wakes up, he'll probably watch the live stream. I want him to see how much demand there is for a boot camp like that on AI. Just go ahead and type the number 1 if you guys are members and you want Adam to do a workshop, a boot camp on AI. Let me see. Just type the number 1. Wow. All right, so this is really good because Adam has not said yes yet. Adam has not said yes. So I'm going to show him this. I'm going to show him how many, oh my God. I'm going to show him how many of you want him to do this so we can just guilt trip him and do it. I'm like, Adam, you have to do it, bro. Literally, look at how many people want him to do that. So I'm going to guilt trip him into doing it. I mean, Adam, he's super busy, for him to put a boot camp on, 2 days of training and learning. I just think it's so beneficial. It's so beneficial for members. And I think he'll do it, but we just got to nudge him. That's it. We just got to push him in the right direction. And I think we can do it. Maybe we can dedicate one day to AI within your profession and within your personal life. And then another day with how can you use AI for your investments and how to use AI in your trading and everything else. I think that would be really, really cool. So sweet. You guys are the best. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. So I'll show that to Adam tomorrow. Okay. He literally just rebuilt the whole TTG dashboard. Go look at it. If you guys are members of True Trading Group, go look at the dashboard on True Trading Group. It's brand new. He just rebuilt the whole thing with our development team. So if you guys haven't been on the site in the last couple hours, go check out your dashboard. It's brand new. Go check it out. Tell me what you guys think. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Go ahead. Fire away. Ask another question. We still have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about Tesla, Carvana, Netflix, the game plan for tomorrow's earnings. We're going to go through with all that. Go ahead, guys. Type your questions in chat right now. One more question, folks. What are your thoughts the market is doing the rest of this month? Diane Zamora, it's a great question. To be quite honest with you, what I think is going to happen, I don't see resistance on this market until you get up to this level. Just being real here. I don't really see resistance till you get to like 460. So I don't really see a reason why this FOMO can't push markets higher. You have earnings coming out. What I anticipate to happen is I anticipate this market rally to continue up into this region. And then I expect a pullback. So I expect us to push up into this region. And once we get up into that region, then I expect a cool off, not a crash. I expect a cool off. The market has run very far, very fast. You're 37 days in a row now without a 1% decline in the market. That is highly unusual to have 37 consecutive trading days without a 1% decline. Very unusual. So if you have another 3 to 4 to 5 days of that, I mean, you're really running into a streak where the markets are getting a little ahead of itself. They're getting a little overbought. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Nothing goes down in a straight line. So I expect us to push maybe another $5, $6, $7 to the upside, Diana. And then I think the markets give you a little bit of a pullback. Right? So that is what I kind of think we're going to get from the market. I expect this chase to continue. You have earnings coming up. We'll see what Tesla and Netflix and everybody else has to say. Next week is the Fed meeting. And I'm thinking that maybe we just rally into the Fed meeting, and then you have the Fed meeting, and that's a beautiful catalyst for the market to cool off. Let the Fed maybe be a little aggressive with the Fed meeting, and then let the market cool off and give you a little bit of a pullback, right? So that's what I think you're going to get. I would expect we push up to around 460, and then I think we would pull back to around 445. So maybe you push up to around 450, and then give me a $15 pullback back down to 445. And then the markets just breathe. And then the markets can take a little bit of a sigh of relief, and everybody can kind of look around and gauge what's happening with earnings. That's what I think is going to happen over the next, 2 to 3 weeks. So I hope that helps answer your question, Diana. Keep them going, guys. Keep them going. Next question. Maria says, I'm sure you're making plenty of money, but I've been burned by other trading groups before. I totally understand. Never seen any of their members actually make any money with these things, always chasing alerts after the fact. Wow, you know what? That's a great question, to be quite honest with you, Maria. One thing that I will tell you is, aside from the fact that members, yes, a lot of members are making money, but the thing about chasing trade alerts, you see, the thing that makes the True Trading Group that really differentiates us from a lot of other groups is that, it's 10 professional traders that are giving you their trade alerts. It's not just myself. There's 10 of us. And we're with you in chat. We're sharing our screen. We're talking to you on the microphone. But we also tell you what we're going to do before we actually do it. So the moderators in True Trading Group, we tell you, these are the stocks we're focusing on. These are our entry prices, and these are our exit prices. So you already know what the game plan is. You already know when the stock gets to this price, Mike's going to buy it. When the stock gets to this price, Mike's going to sell it, and all the other moderators as well. So you know the plans ahead of time. And we tell you on the microphone, like, okay, guys, I'm putting an order here. I'm going to be long. If the stock drops here, I'm going to buy it. If the stock goes to here, I'm going to sell 25% of my position. If it gets here, I'm going to sell half my position. So members know what we're doing before alerts actually get sent out. And then when when our orders actually fill, then you get a push notification in chat letting you know that our orders have actually executed. So that's first and foremost. You don't have to worry about chasing alerts inside of True Trading Group like that, because that we do things a little bit differently. The moderators really put our necks out there, and we really tell you exactly what we're doing and where our orders are. So that's first and foremost. But secondly, members of True Trading Group are making money. Listen, not every single member of True Trading Group is making money. We don't have a 100% success rate. That's not realistic. I can try for it, but it's not realistic. Okay. But what I will tell you is that the vast majority of members are making money. And I'll prove this to you, Maria. Members of True Trading Group, do me a favor. Let's just, for Maria, it's a valid question. I don't want anybody to beat her up over this question. It's a valid question. There's a lot of other groups out there that are totally full of crap. If you are a member of True Trading Group, if you are making money and you guys are becoming better traders because of TTG, do me a favor, type the number 1 in chat. Just type the number 1 in chat right now if you guys are making money and you're becoming better traders. Now, if you're not a member of PTG, which Maria, obviously I know that you're not, anybody else that's on here, pay attention to how many people are typing the number 1 inside chat. Pay attention to how many people are typing the number 1 inside chat right now. All these people, these are members of True Trading Group. These are not bots. These are real people. They found True Trading Group the same way you did. It's one of these live streams, right? They realized they learned more in an hour and a half on a live stream with me than they've learned the entire last year working, by themselves or being on social media. They've had all the same excuses: full-time job, no experience, lost money before, been scammed by some other group. Maria, a lot of members on here have been scammed by other groups, right? Guys, TTG members, type the number 2 if you were part of another group in the past and now you call TTG home and you're never going to go anywhere else. If you lost money with another group, if you were scammed by some other group, if you joined some other group and they were totally full of crap, and now you found True Trading Group and it's the place that you now call home for life, go ahead and type the number 2 inside chat right now. I want to show you, Maria, that you're not alone. There's a lot of members of True Trading Group that have been part of a lot of other very well-known trading groups that are out there that you'll see on YouTube or you'll see on social media, because they spend $1 million a month on ads all over the place. It just, everywhere you look, you see ads from a lot of these different places. We don't do that at True Trading Group. We just allow word of mouth is allowed us to get the 10,000 members in 115 countries. And it's because members of True Trading Group are successful. When your members are successful, your program and your platform sells itself, because a member tells a friend, tells a coworker, tells a family member, and then 2 of those 3 people join True Trading Group. And then that person tells a friend, tells a coworker, tells a family member, and then they tell people. Because when you're actually having success and you're actually making money, it's easy to tell people, hey, you know what? You should really think about joining True Trading Group. Go ahead, check out their live stream. Go ahead, join True Trading Group. Like, that's how we've been able to grow this community. It's not because we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on advertisements. You guys don't really see us advertise anywhere. So Maria, you're not alone on that, right? You're not alone on that, right? So I wanted to just kind of put that out there and let members, let members comment. So I hope that helps, Maria. You're not alone. Members are making money. They're becoming better traders because of TTG. So like I said, Maria, you are certainly not alone. Dan K says, I've learned more in a month than I have on my own in 5 years. This is a great group and you will not be disappointed to join. Worth every cent and 1,000,000 times more. Thank you, Dan. Dan K, that's a really nice comment, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dan. Reggie says, to all the non-members, why do you think members show up here every day to support them? We get this and much more in chat. If TTG wasn't the real deal, we wouldn't be here. It's a really good point. It's a really good point, Reggie. Reggie, I hope you're doing well, brother. We haven't spoken in a little while. I hope you're well, man. Look at Memphis Street Talk. I love you. Memphis Street goes, Dan, share that on Trustpilot. Share that on Trustpilot. Interesting. What would make you different? It seems like you have a fan club that supports you, but what? What is the but? What's the butt part? What makes us different? Well, I mean, what makes us different? I mean, I kind of just went into what makes us different, right? About how we work with the trade alerts, but you get a professional level of education when you join True Trading. You're getting, a simplified and expanded upon version of the 3-month educational training that I learned that I worked with the fund, right? The fund didn't let me touch $1 of the money until I went through their training program. That's where I learned. And you guys are going to get a similar level of education to that, right? That's really what I think makes us different. You also get access to $5,000 worth of tools, scanners and simulators and news feeds and dark pool data, short data, unusual options activity, like all this stuff. You guys get access to all of it when congressional trades. But you get access to all this stuff when you guys join True Trading Group. You actually get access to insider trading from management. So you can see when management members buy or sell shares of their own stock. You guys get all that stuff as a member of True Trading Group. It's all included with your annual membership. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. There's no upsells for that stuff. And we leave no trader behind. We leave no trader behind. Like I said, I'm honest with you guys. We have 10,000 members. We don't have 10,000 consistently profitable traders. Okay. We have a hell of a lot more of them than we do not. But, for the people that are still struggling, we do red to green workshops every single month. This is where members that are struggling, they can submit questions and topics that people are having a hard time with, and the moderators will actually host live workshops covering those topics specifically. It's totally free. You don't have to pay anything extra for that. It's free. It's included with your membership. We do it every month. So that's what I mean. I'd say these are the things that make us different. We generally give a damn whether or not members succeed or fail. And you can see that by members that are commenting in chat. You see it. Hell yeah, Maria. Maria, I love you so much. You're such an awesome lady. It's not a fan club. It's everyone getting together with a similar goal to be a successful trader, and TTG has the best education and educators. Hell yeah. There's so much education, including explaining trades and educating us real time during the day from Knick-Knack. Yes, Diana Zamora says, can we hit that like button? Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Trevor West, boot camps, baby. Yes. Tales of Culture says, Maria Jones, what makes this different is that this is technically an education. They teach you how to fish. I just lost there we go. They teach you how to fish. They teach you how to survive on your own, but it's so fun to be part of the family. That's no joke, Mike. I'm grateful that I found you guys. Dan, that's awesome, man. That is straight from the heart. I will share all over the place. Dan, I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Yoda Wake, what's up, man? How are you? TGD is legitimate. I joined my first live, and I'm very grateful I did. I've received education, direction in the markets every day. I stopped following everything else. Everything I need is right here. Amen to that. Amen to that. Vishnu says, I'll give you all of my money if you find a better group. Boom. I love that. Oh, Mem's World. That's even deeper. TGD taught me how to be a man. You learn what real values are here. I like that. I just signed up and there's so much info. I'm so excited. I love that. Oh, here's Maria again. So if you give all of this, what's the price though? Sounds expensive. It's actually not expensive at all. That's the craziest part. That's actually the craziest part. It's actually not expensive at all, Maria. See, our goal at True Trading Group is to provide a platform that levels the playing field for retail traders. The problem is that there really isn't anything that exists for retail traders where they can get a real education, but also have access to real tools. That's, you know, they go and they see, oh, this person charges $5,000 for some inner circle. It doesn't cost that much. You know, it doesn't. I mean, nobody has as much as we have in their membership. Our membership includes all of our courses and all those tools, $5,000 worth of tools. There's not a single company out there. Trust me, we've looked. Not a single company exists that offers all of the things that we do. So I know it doesn't have to cost $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000. But a lot of these other companies charge that. It's ridiculous. You know, a lot of retail investors don't really feel like spending that much money up front like that. So that, you know, so that's why a lot of them, you know, don't do it. You know, it shouldn't cost that much for you guys to learn. Actually, let me do this. Maria, hold on one second. Let me actually do this real quick. Who else is in the boat with Maria here? Do me a favor. You guys are in the same boat as Maria. If you're not a member of True Trading Group, if you're not a member of True Trading Group, can you guys do me a favor? Just type the letters TTG. Type the letters TTG if you guys are not a member of True Trading Group. If you're in the same boat as Maria, if you're in the same boat as Maria, type the letters TTG. Just want to see who's on here that's also not a member. I know I'm talking to Maria here, but I'm sure there's a lot of other people that have similar questions. Michael, there's Maria, obviously. Yep, Michael, Deanie, Bogey, Leonard, Abe, Randy. Yeah, Brad, for sure. Yeah, it's an investment in yourself. Absolutely, man. Torres, Honda, Walter. All right, cool. Oh yeah, we got a lot of David Montoya. What's up, David? One of these days, bro. You've been a long time viewer, if I'm not mistaken. One of these days, David. One of these days, brother. I'm going to welcome you to the family. All right, here. Let me do this. Actually, here. I still want to get into. I want to get into Tesla, Carvana, and Netflix. Okay, Tesla, Carvana, and Netflix. We're going to get into all that. Let me do this though first. Let me tell you guys. Eilena Fernandez, how are you? Let me tell you guys how you can join the TC platform. Maria, if you seem like you're super interested, if you guys want to join the TC platform, you certainly can. We actually have a 54% discount we are running on the annual membership. So anybody that wants to join, I do have some laptops for tonight too. I have 7 laptops available. So if anybody, whoever joins TTG tonight, you guys also get a free laptop with your membership. We have relationships with wholesalers. We get great discounts when we can buy them in bulk. And I don't mind offering it to our members. It's our gift to you when you guys join the platform. We cover the shipping. It's totally free. So here's how you guys can join. Go to ttgoffer.com. enter the coupon code TTG121. You have to manually enter the coupon code TTG121. Then you click apply code. The price drops to $1,007 for the entire year. Now, let me explain to you that $1,007, it's for the entire year of access. You get access to all of our courses and all of our tools. Joe, why don't you post a link actually for all the courses? The courses are a simplified and expanded upon version of the 3-month training that I received when I worked at the fund in New York. There's beginner courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, futures. We have courses on all of it, and you get access to every one of them. You don't join for the $1,007, then all of a sudden there's these VIP or these pro courses that cost another $1,000. We don't play games like that. I'm not sitting here trying to upsell you and nickel and dime you guys for every course and every tool. Okay, that's not the way that we work in True Trading Group. All right, so the courses and the tools are included in the $1,007 when you guys join for the whole year. Now, the tools, $5,000 worth. We've negotiated deals with these companies to put their tools on our platform so you guys don't have to spend $5,000 to use them. It's the reason why so many retail traders don't use them, because they're expensive. So we solve that problem for you. You get Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed, live up to the second news alerts right inside of our chat. Congressional trading data, so you can track the trades that are being made by members of Congress. Okay, you actually just had a couple of Congress men and women that actually just sold shares of Microsoft, which is interesting. Okay. You also get insider trading. Insider trading is information that will show you when management, CEO, CFO, right, of companies buy or sell their own stock. Just that would cost you around $1,400 a year if you went to Benzinga directly. Just those things. They're all included when you join True Trading Group for $1,007 for the whole year. You get Quote Media's full book, level 2, to see all the market maker depth. You get TradingView's premium charting software, which is like $600 a year if you go to TradingView directly. A simulator that lets you trade stocks, options, crypto, and futures with fake money, but real-time data so you can practice implementing what you're learning before you risk your hard-earned money. Our own proprietary scanner that lets you create your own custom scans. Dark pool data. If you don't know what dark pool data is, that's a separate private exchange that hedge funds conduct transactions in. So if a hedge fund wanted to sell $10 million block of a stock, sometimes they don't do it in the open market. They do it in a dark pool, okay? And we can see those transactions. So you get that information as a member of True Trading Group. You get unusual options activity. You get options flow, short data. Some of you pay for these things already. It's included when you join True Trading Group. The Trade Ideas Scanner, it's on our platform. It streams live all day for you guys to use so you can see what are the best stocks you should be focusing your attention on. A trading journal tracks all your trades, breaks it down to the statistics. You can see what you're doing wrong. A social sentiment scanner tells you what stocks are talked about most on social media. We even have downloadable PDF reports on analyst ratings. So you can actually see how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating on a particular stock. Every day we give you watch lists, stocks, entry points, exit points. You know exactly what the game plan is before the day even begins. Guys, all of this is included for the $1,007. But when you go to ttgoffer.com, the price is going to say $2,212. Don't pay that. Use the coupon code. You're on this live stream. I'm giving you the coupon code. It's TTG121. Click apply code. The price then drops to $1,007. The next 7 people get a free laptop. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. There's only 7 of them. After 7 people join, the laptop will no longer be visible. So as long as you see one, you're getting one. If you're watching this after it's aired, if you see one, you're getting one. You don't have to enter your address. You're going to get a welcome email after you join. There's going to be instructions in there how to claim that free laptop. So be on the lookout for the welcome email. All right. We also offer a double your money back guarantee. I stand behind this platform, guys. I truly, genuinely, and personally believe in the platform that we have created and its ability to help you reach your goals. To prove that to you, I put my money where my mouth is to show you that I believe in this product and I stand behind it. Anyone that joins True Trading Group Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend the study group, and utilize the platform that you're subscribing to. Don't just sign in 4 times all year and be like, oh, I didn't make any money. Use the platform, right? Do those things. If you are unable to make back the $1,007 at least one time during your membership, I will give you back double your money. I'm being dead serious. I will give you back $2,014. I can do that because our refund rate, it's only 2.39% right now. That's dating back to 2016. Our refund rate is 2.39%. That's why I can offer you double your money back. If our refund rate was 10 or 15%, I wouldn't be able to offer you double your money back. We're 5-star rated on Trustpilot, over 2,200 reviews. 78% of our members renew their membership, or they've become lifetime members of the community. It's because of all these numbers and all these statistics that I can offer you guys, okay, that I can offer you guys double your money back, right? It's because of all of these things. So all you've got to do is go to ttgoffer.com, use the coupon code TTG121, click apply code, price drops, sign up, you get a free laptop. It's a free Windows laptop. It's an Asus, Acer, HP, Dell, or Lenovo laptop. Use it to trade, give it to your kid for school, sell it on eBay. Ah, Maria! Yes! That's fantastic. Maria, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, Maria. Guys, welcome Maria. Maria just joined. It's the same Maria too. Yes, it's the same Maria. Yep. Yes, it is, Joe. Same Maria. Fantastic. Guys, welcome. Oh, there's, look, Maria Jones says, thanks. Yes. Excellent. Maria Jones, welcome to the family, guys. So we're now down to 6 laptops. Okay, so Maria just grabbed one. We got 6 of them left. If you have any questions at all, text us, 786-505-4049. Text us. We're fully transparent. We're an open book. 786-505-4049. Phone number's right down there at the bottom of your screen. Text that number. We'll answer any questions that you guys have. All right, we're fully transparent. We're an open book. Maria, welcome to the family. All right, so you guys have 54% discount, free laptop, double your money back guarantee. Go to ttgoffer.com, use the code TTG121. All right. Okay, let's take it on over to the charts. Let's talk about what we expect from earnings for tomorrow. And what I want to go through with you guys, what I want to cover with you is Carvana. The first stock I want to cover with you is Carvana. And this is interesting. Okay. It's interesting what's going on with their earnings. They were not scheduled to report earnings tomorrow. They pulled it forward. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I really don't know. So this could either be really good or really bad. Why they would want to do it early, I really don't know. I've seen times in the past when companies pull their earnings forward. I've seen they're really bad. I've also seen they're really good. All right. So, whatever the company's, the reason they had behind it, I don't know. We'll learn tomorrow when they report and they go through their conference call. We'll see, right? We'll see what the reasons are that the management team gives and why they did what they did. But what I'm looking for, I'm looking at one very specific level. Well, technically I'm looking at 2 specific levels. One of them is the low 40s and the other one is like $34. And when I'm looking at Carvana, I see a huge resistance level in the low 40s. Now, where's that resistance level come from? Well, first, you guys can see right here, all this resistance. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different, tops. Okay. 5 different top tails up there in the low 40s showing you resistance, right? But as I go all the way back, I want to show you guys as I go all the way back, you see how you had this little pivot support level there in August, and then you had this gap down, right? That created a gap. And then we closed the gap right here in September. We closed the gap there in September, and then the stock just completely sold off and rolled over, right? completely sold off and then rolled over. Now you got right back up into that level and you can see it's acting as resistance. So that's a level of resistance. If the earnings tomorrow are really good and Carvana gaps above that level, then it's just time to be long. And I'd say you watch for a short squeeze that can take this thing up towards 50. And I'll be long if we gapped above this level. So let's say tomorrow they come out with earnings and we open up here. Let's say we open all the way up here tomorrow because the earnings are really good. Then I would expect you to see a little bit of a squeeze move and look for the stock to then push up there to the upside if the earnings are really good. But if they're not really good, I want to show you this level that we have here around 34. All right, I want to show you this level around 34. It's about $1 wide. I'd say it's probably from $34 to $35. It's about $1 wide support level. And what you'll see is you found support there after hours in the sell-off today. You found support there on the 13th. You also then found support there on the 11th. And then prior to that, you found resistance on the 10th, right? So this is the level that I'm looking at here on Carvana. If Carvana gets underneath this 34 zone, I think the stock could be in a little bit of trouble. And I think you can see at least a short down to 30. I'd be looking for at least a $4 decline minimum. I'd be looking for a $4 decline if we get underneath 34. If you get under 34, I'm looking for profits off at 30, more profits off at like 28 and a half. And then just depending on how bad the earnings are, final take profit down around 25. That's really, I would expect a really big deterioration in Carvana if the earnings are really bad. But that's a big if. I don't know if the earnings are going to be bad, guys. I'm just giving you my game plan and the levels based on, okay, tomorrow morning, earnings on Carvana. What are the earnings? Are they good? Are they bad? That's the game plan. Okay. If you gap above 42, I'm long, try to get that thing long up towards 50. If the earnings are bad and we gap under 34, I'm looking for a short to 30, 28.50. All right. So that's what I'm looking for there. That's what I'm looking for there for Carvana. But what else has earnings tomorrow? We have Netflix and we have Tesla. Netflix with a massive breakout today. Just an unbelievable breakout today on Netflix. Look at this move. Just an unreal breakout. We got to welcome Ricky. Ricky, guys, everybody welcome Ricky. Ricky's the newest member to the TD family. We have 5 of those spots now remaining. Everybody welcome Ricky. So Ricky and Maria, welcome to the TD fam. Guys, go to ttgoffer.com. Use the code TTG121. Click apply code. Price drops all the way down to $1,007. You get a free laptop and a double your money back guarantee. Ricky, welcome to the family. 5 laptops now remain. Again, if you guys have questions, 786-505-4049. Send us a text with any questions. This is the level we broke above on Netflix. Now you can see Netflix, this was that previous pivot top. Going back there from the end of January before the stock sold off and got absolutely decimated, right? We ran right up into that level over the last couple of weeks, and then you broke through that flat top today, and you got this beautiful follow-through extension move on Netflix. So what do we do now? Where do we go from here, depending on what happens with their earnings? Forget about what happened today, because when the company reports earnings, all bets are off. Okay, all bets are off. But if earnings are good, you got to look to fill this gap. And that means the stock has room to over $500. And that fills the gap to the huge gap down that you had in January. Now, if you guys remember, this is one of the biggest earnings gap downs that we had ever seen at that point. It was the biggest earning gap downs that we've really seen on the megas. Is Meta's earning gap down debacle where it was down like 25%, and then Netflix when it was down like 25%. That was the gap that's been open ever since January of last year. That gap is working on being filled. It's unbelievable the recovery that Netflix has had, but that gap fills up over $500. So if earnings are good, I fully expect Netflix to get to 500 to 505 would be the target that I'll be looking for there for Netflix. If earnings are bad and you get a big gap down, if you gap back, listen to me carefully. If you gap back underneath this flat top, this resistance level that we just broke above today, if earnings are bad enough to where you gap underneath that level, I would want to see if this level then starts to act as resistance again. And I would expect Netflix to, not in one day, but over the next couple of days, get back to 415. and I would be looking short then back to 415. So we'd be short back up against 455, that flat top resistance we broke out of today, and look for the stock to then get back to around 415 over the course of a couple of days. I don't think it would happen just in one day, but that's the levels that I'm looking at when it comes to Netflix earnings, whether they're good or bad. You got to see what happens here with this strike with Hollywood. Netflix, there's a big debate going on right now if Netflix is in a better position or worse position for this Hollywood strike. Some people think they're in a better position because they have a huge backlog of content. So Netflix has a huge backlog of content that has been produced but is not yet aired. So they're like, okay, well, while they go on strike and there's no new content being created, Netflix is going to be able to still put out new content, while other companies and other streamers and other media platforms are going to put out reruns of old content. Now, the negative side where people are saying, oh, but here's the negative part of Netflix, is that Netflix doesn't have any sports streaming, right? So one thing about if you stream sports and if you have live sporting events, that always fills up new content, because when there's a sporting event, you can watch it and you're watching it for the first time. It's new content. Netflix doesn't have that. So there's this debate going on between, well, is the backlog of content good, or is the lack of live events content bad? I personally think the backlog of content is good because nobody goes to Netflix to watch sporting events. So that's not really a change. You can't say if that was never a negative before, why is it a negative now? If anything, I would say that the huge backlog of content puts Netflix in a better position than its competitors, because its competitors, if they're not able to produce more content, then viewers will be frustrated with the lack of new content, versus Netflix has a backlog of content that they're going to be putting out new, fresh stuff. So I think it's a good thing for Netflix. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that the strike actually works out to be a good thing for Netflix, but we'll have to see when the company comes out and reports earnings. Then we got to switch over to Tesla. Tesla, the big question here for Tesla is going to be all about their margins. It's not a matter of sales. It's not a matter of deliveries. We already know that their deliveries far exceeded expectations. We know that their sales are in line to be better than expected. There was rumors of it over the last 2 days that their sales were going to be better than expected. But it really comes down to margins. Are the margins okay for Tesla? Because they've cut and cut and cut the price of their vehicles. So after all those price cuts, how are the margins? How's the net profit? That's the question mark with Tesla. Levels we're focusing on for Tesla. I'll show you the resistance level. Because man, oh man, is it a brick wall. It's 315. All right, I'll draw the line. There it is. There's all your resistance. August, September, and then here's more resistance for good measure right there in early May. That's your mark. All right. I actually think if Tesla were to gap up on earnings, but be underneath this level, I actually think you may even have a little bit of a fade trade where the stock might fade off of 315. I just think 315 is too big of a level. The only way I would look long is if you gapped above this level, but even then you have huge resistance also at 325. So maybe you catch a $5 move from 315 to 325, trade that $10 move, but I would take profits off to 325, just depending on what the earnings are. I don't think the earnings are going to be such a drastic event for Tesla like we've seen in the past. I actually think you might just get a small gap up if they're good, but stay beneath that 315 level. We'll see. We'll see once the earnings come out. Now, if earnings are bad and they actually miss, there's a lot of air that can get sucked out of Tesla. And I would say at the absolute bare minimum, you look at a move back here to support around 265. And if you break 265, the stock's in trouble. You had support right here at 265, and you had a resistance right there. That was the gap fill. You had that big gap up day when they reported their delivery numbers. Then you pulled back in, retested it, became support. If you get underneath that level, then you're talking about a deeper decline that would take you down towards 240. They'd have to really miss on earnings for the stock to get that low. I don't anticipate that. I don't anticipate a shock from Tesla. considering how good their delivery numbers were. So actually, I'm leaning towards these numbers being good for Tesla, but I just don't know if you're going to get like this massive gap up on the earnings release for Tesla. I think it might be, I think you might even be good with like a strangle type of trade. A strangle is when, you're going to make money if the stock goes sideways. I'm sorry, not a strangle, an iron condor. Why did I just say that? An iron condor, where you guys can make money if the stock just goes sideways. Because there's so much premium built into the option contracts going into an event like earnings. And if you don't get a huge move in either direction, then people that own call options are going to lose money, and people that own put options are going to lose money because the premiums are so high because of the implied volatility going into the earnings. So you may have a situation where maybe even a condor can be a pretty decent trade. So we'll see, right? But there you have it, guys. All right, folks, that concludes my analysis. That includes the educational part of the live stream. Hope you guys found that all helpful. My TC fam, I'll be live in chat tomorrow morning, obviously, to talk you guys through and trade through Carvana with you. And then after the bell, we have Netflix and Tesla earnings, and we'll cover that live here on the YouTube channel. So my TC fam, I hope you guys all enjoyed the stream. If you guys are not interested in a membership at all, you can sign off the live stream. I'm done with the educational stuff. If you are interested, stick around for 2 more minutes. I'll show you the platform so you can actually see what you get access to for the $1,007. I'll show you guys the actual platform. You're going to get our chat room, obviously. The chat room is where the mods and I share our screen. We're live on the mic. We're calling out trades in real time. We're answering questions. We're providing all our trade alerts. We're with you from pre-market through after hours. We're not just gone after an hour. You guys can use the mobile app, see the screen share, listen to the audio, receive all the real-time trade alerts from all the moderators directly from your cell phone. So if you're not from your computer, you guys still can follow along with everything that we're doing inside of chat. You're also going to be getting access to the 2 private study group sessions with our mods to speed up your learning curve. Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed, congressional trading data, insider trades to track trades by management, TradingView's premium charting software, the Trade Idea scanner, a simulator from ET&A, our own proprietary scanner that lets you create your own custom scans, dark pool data, unusual options activity, options flow, short data. All this is included when you guys join. A trading journal that tracks your trades for you, a social sentiment scanner tells you what's talked about most on social media, analyst ratings on any stock that you're interested in so you guys can see what analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating. Watch list every day that the mods and I publish, telling you guys exactly what it is, the stocks that we're focused on with their entry and exit prices. Then you have the courses, a simplified and expanded upon version of what I learned working at the fund in New York. You guys get access to all the courses. There's no upsell for courses. Then you get a video library with 600 hours of workshops and webinars covering a variety of different topics. And you can start attending these live once you become a full-time member. Guys, I can't guarantee you'll be successful just because you join True Trading Group. But what I can guarantee is if you join now today for $1,007 for the whole year, go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend the study group. If you have still not made back $1,007 at least one time during your membership, I'll give you guys back $2,014, double what you paid to join the platform. Okay? So that's it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Go to ttgoffer.com, use the coupon code TTG121. Click apply code, price drops to $1,007. If you have any questions, text us 786-505-4049. Have a great night, folks. I'll see you.